Hello and welcome back to Mr. Red Dragon 543, and today we will be showing you how to farm death. Well, apparently he's in here already, which is interesting because he shouldn't be here. Reason why you can tell he's in here is because you can hear the sound of death whenever he's in a room. Oh shit. And what do I mean when you can hear the sound of death? Well, if you listen to the background, you hear the bells and stuff. Now what you can do is, if you want to farm for easy experience and stuff, it's best to get them locked up, and it's good to have them in a room kind of like this, because then that way you can just go at it with Conqueror's Parry, which is really doing some amazing damage. Now you can farm him in many places, including the sewer, or what is known as the bloodstock. Which I'll show you right now. Wasn't expecting him to be in here because he's always found in the bloodstock before battling Damien. So you want to keep that as a noted thing. Is when you fight Damien, you can fight Death. You can spawn him in here, which should open up the map. So he's on the second floor, which is pretty much underground here. He'll always be around this area. But what you want to do is, if you want to farm experience and stuff, especially if you're going in with a team, what you want to do is you want to amplify your magic or your strength, and then just before you kill him, put on a Marty talisman. That will double your experience given. And I went from 172 to 178 after I did that, so the experience is very well worth it. I'd say especially if you're going to do that kind of stuff. I'm just getting some pawns. Yeah, so if you want to get some pawns and stuff, pawn rift is already in full. What the fuck? What do you mean? Who else is in my party? No, I'm not. What? Jerry Toots. Oh. What the fuck? Oh. I was not expecting that. Okay. I guess somebody likes to have cross-dressers for their pawns. Well, I mean, to get... Yeah, so in Arisen's Refuge, or even the Warriors Respite, if you're gonna plan on getting death experience, you always want to go to buy, and you always want to go down to Marty Talismans, which will increase for a period of time. Now, I think it's double the experience, it should be, but it is very well worth it. Now, thing for Mystic Archers is it's really good. Even though I have relatively like a little less magic with the bow, the good thing is I have Ricochet Hunter. You don't have to worry about having a lantern, because the good thing is with Mystic Archers you can just do Magic Radiance and then just go like that. Having Magic Radiance is really good, and like I said, you can hear when death is in here, and you can do this pre-Damien. You can farm the fuck out of him, by the way. It is a good idea to farm him, especially when you can, because it is actually really good to farm him, whether it be for experience or like all out stuff like that. Like Ricochet Hunter is really good because it lowers his health and stuff like that. Especially in the sewers, it does a lot more, and I don't know where I'm getting all that experience from. What the fuck? Yeah, so he'll eventually have enough, and he'll kind of quit. He'll rage quit. But like I said, yeah, so there you go. He rage quits. Now the thing is, you can respawn him in by going back into a different room. So usually what I do is I go into the Arisen's refuge, because it will always respawn here, especially pre-Damien. Now post-Damien, that's a different story, because he tends to appear when he wants to. So pre-Damien, if you're looking to defeat death, what you can do is like you can just like if you want to defeat death, easiest way, what I also suggest doing is get the notice board for Wages of Death 4, which is found in here. As you can see, I have completed that. So you get Boots of Shadow, which is a fabled item. And like I said, when you go down here, sometimes you can do whatever. I wonder if he has Conquer Spirit yet. Probably not. Nah. Unfortunately, nah. He doesn't have like the demon stuff or whatnot. But that's why you can go back to Cassidus, or is it Cassardus? I don't know. I kept on calling it like something else when it wasn't. But yeah, so when you go down here, you can spawn in death each time. And this is pre-Damien. So the reason why I know it works for sure, pre-Damien only, is because you can tell by the time that you hit the bottom of these steps, you'll hear the eerie sound and the bells, and that's one way you can tell that it's working. Because as soon as you enter here, you'll start to hear that noise, you know. And it's interesting because like I said, death loves to find his ways. And so what you can do is, he always tends to be here. If not, he's always in the main room. But like I said, you can farm him whenever you want. And when you get him down to low, because this is one thing that you do want to pay attention to, is that he loves to he loves to spawn in and out of places sometimes. The worst I had him spawn in is when I was battling a dire drake, or as some people call it, is the like some people call it the what is it, the drake? There's two types of drakes. There's the regular drake and then the dire drake, but they can also call it the trying to remember what they call it, is like the fire drake or something. It's kind of like interesting, like the Dragon's wiki, like the Dragon's Dogma wiki, they call it like the frost worm, the thunder wyvern, thunder wyvern. Oh my god, that sounds so stupid. And as well as like all that. Now, when it comes to Dragonforge, some tips for that. The cursed dragons are very good for that. Like the Dragonforge, the cursed dragons are something you want to keep in mind because whether you like to admit it or not, they have a 75% increase to level 3 items. I believe 40% on level 1 or none. No, it must be level 1 or something. It's interesting because when you Dragonforge items, you kind of like, obviously in the main game you're gonna Dragonforge easily off the main, like the Gigori. Now, one of the things that you're gonna find interesting is like I said, yeah, so this works 100% of the times. This is on the PS4 version. I believe it works on all versions. If you don't see him right away, don't you worry. You can just kind of, oh nice. Yeah, so slashing does work more effectively. But I noticed that like with the Ricochet Hunter, it's really good because it bounces off the walls and it does more damage. So yeah, either he disappeared, not yet, he left because he's a little bitch. What I find interesting about Death though, and this is the most interesting thing, is that his story is actually one of the more interesting ones of this entire game, because he used to be an Arisen just like you, sought after the dragon, and when he came to this island, he was in search for, I guess, Damien, but couldn't find him, which is interesting. And I guess after all that stuff, he eventually became Death. So if you're wondering who Death really is, in this game, he is an Arisen just like you used to be. So it's very interesting. I like the concept that they kind of connect everything, you know, and maybe that's like, you know, who knows what the Dark Arisen's named after. It could be Damien, Death, or everyone in this, because even what's his name, Barak, could be pronouncing that wrong, he is an Arisen himself. So it's really interesting to see that, like, the Arisen is not just one person, and it's not just bound to one thing, which makes everything kind of interesting. Oh, hi, Death. Like I said, with Death, he's very interesting because he's a lot more easier to kind of tell with moves because he telegraphs them very well. Now, if you don't know what telegraph means, is you can kind of see when he is about to use his moves because he always kind of lifts up his lantern in some way. So when his lantern turns blue, that means he's going to try to put you to sleep. When his lantern turns yellow, it means that he's going to try to, yeah, so as you can see here, yeah, so he's going to run away for now. Yeah. So it's always good to kind of just keep on farming at him here. And post-game, depending on where you are exactly, you can farm him by going to the garden of... It's like the very first garden where you see, where you first meet Death. And I believe that in that room, there has to be saurians in order for it to work. And then you drop a piece of meat, I think. And then afterwards, you can always farm in Death. There's a video by it on Munching Opinion, I believe his name is, who's done that. But like I said, we're just farming Death because like it's easy experience. Like I said, like 6 levels of experience from levels 172 to 178 from 1 kill. Like it's amazing. Wait, hold on. Who's with me? Oops. I'm just gonna bring back my pawn. It's always good to have your pawns with you too because they can level up as well, if they don't get killed. Which is a good thing too because what I should do is I should transfer my pawn to being a sorcerer for now, so I can show you because okay, so another thing to do with things that you might want to have is the fact that a lot of your armor and equipment, like you can get dropped from Death. So what I'm gonna do is, okay, I don't think, yeah. So I guess if you wanna do stuff, I'm just gonna sleep and see if anyone even used my pawn. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's very random, so I guess not. But one of the things that you can do is, if you want to make a specific class character, for Magic Archer, what I suggest you do is, for the first 10 levels, go with Strider because it till you're level 10 or so, and then for I believe another 20 levels you want to go with Sorcerer to level up your magic. And the good thing about Sorcerer 2 is you can get the augment for increased magic, because the Sorcerer increases magic by 6. And then if you want increased strength, what I suggest you doing is increase it by what is that? Yeah, so you want to increase it by a good number of levels. So if you, now mind you that Sorcerer can be tricky to play off at sometimes, but it's okay. And then if you want the strength, go for Assassin, another few levels, like I believe like another like 20 or 30 levels. It's really good and it is also very powerful too. Alright, so yeah, so I am defeating death here. I might just put this video instead of the last one where I just killed death the first time. But like, this is going to explain more of the death stuff. You can also manipulate his items by getting them to low level and then just pop in, pop out whenever you wish. So what you do is you kind of save in that corridor, and then if you don't get the items that you want or whatnot, you could just quit to menu, or if you have your God's Bane, just kill yourself. Yeah, so God's Bane, which is this weapon, or no, it's how the item works is sometimes if you're manipulating stuff, when you kill yourself with the God's Bane, yes, listen, when you kill yourself with the God's Bane, because everything has a number generated chance, so it's considered RNG, or random number generated, or some people will actually call it getting lucky or chances in actual people speak. But in order for things to work, you want to be careful, because you also want to have a few wake stones on you, just in case you do wind up accidentally getting in the path of his blade. So for instance, alright, I love you. Ah!
Ew, your head's
yeah, I know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do magical radiance here. No, magical radiance. And the thing is, death does take some damage from it, but he also takes knockdown, like you can see here. So it is pretty good to have magical radiance, which is pretty good because it does holy damage, not by much, but it's still something. So as you can see here, yeah, where you got death on here, and if he, yeah, so he runs away like a little bitch, which is alright, because now I can show you how the farming really works, because like I said, you can farm them in more than once, especially pre-Damien. There is no limit to how long you can call them in. So for death, it's always going to be easy to just fuck him up and then just take his stuff. See, I don't really care about the items right now, because I'm still in, like, this is my second time going through Bitter Black Isle, as you guys will know when I upload those videos later. This is kind of just a sneak peek and tips on how to farm death and how to actually make it work. If you are an assassin character, or like some characters with high attack, it's always good to just use either arrows or just slash at them with like whatever you can. So like I said, I'm just going to show you a quickie of how to do things, because right now, yeah, so when you're down here, you can do whatever. So like I said, you can save here, and then I'll show you the God's Bane trick, because the reason why you want to save in this corridor is because when you do that, you can, oh wow, he's pretty close. Yeah, so if you noticed, alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on Marty Talisman and stuff, and then just, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on 4 of these, and just have my way with him. And, or her, whoever Death really is. Yeah, so, whoa, that is a lot of XP. 9,999. Okay, so we got Bone Lantern, Armor 2, Scythe Shard, Bone Lantern. Yeah, so we got a lot of good stuff, so... Oh, wow. Shit, eh? Elisha, 1-8... Oh. Okay, so think about that for a second. I grew another 6 levels, I think it is. I believe it must have went up by 6 again, because that's awesome. So yeah, so that is how you farm death. And to show that I'm not fucking with you guys and shit like that, like, because this is how you actually spawn in death. So you can later on, if you need to like level up your character to have higher magic, just go to assassin and sorcerer again. Even though their values are lessened from the fact that you're over 100, it still counts. So this is going to be showing you again that death is always respawning here, no matter what. And pre-Damien, I already battled Damien twice, and this is my second time going through Bitter Black Isle. Like I said, I think the level I beated Bitter Black was at like level 146 or some shit like that. I'm not too sure, but like I said, you can hear the ding. Yeah, so how you can tell, death is always respawning in the sewers. And it's kind of a neat little thing, because the fact that you can just go in, get whatever you want, and even now, like, look, you know, my damage is pretty good, you know, compared to what it was like last time. You know, the fact that, like, it's really good, and it's something that I can enjoy too, because it's like, you know what, like, you can spawn in, you can spawn out, you can trap them in. So yeah, so that is the guide to death, and hope you guys enjoyed that, and see you on the final video when I reach level 99 or 200. Right, peace.